What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Arc Metal Fab. I'm Scott, and today we have something super exciting going on. We're going to be going over the 86 Monte Carlo build. We're doing a full turbo kit on this thing and a roll cage. So without further ado, let's get to it. Let's start out with a little bit of an overview of this car. Like I said, this is an 86 Monte Carlo. It's an SS, and this thing only has 50,000 original miles on it. It's a super clean car. There is no rust on this thing anywhere. This thing is outfitted with a bunch of trick chassis parts. It's got a trick chassis 9-inch in the back of it, as well as some long travel suspension goodies in the front and some other stuff. So let's take a look at that. All right, here is the trick chassis 9-inch. This thing's running 350 gears, and we also got some Viking shocks here and here. Check it out. It's on floppy tires. What's all this from? So, the owner of this car brought it to me already gutted. Almost the whole interior is out of the car, everything that I need to put the cage in, so that's nice. He's got a TCI outlaw shifter right there. Might be making a new bracket for that so it fits him better after we get the seats mounted in this thing. This thing is on a Fuel Tech FT550. We got the switch panel over here. So, very nice engine management system. All right, let's get going with the good stuff. Up here, we got the fun factory. This thing is an LY6, 6-liter rectangular port LS, and he's got a lot of goodies in this already. It's gap for boost, ready to party. We got an Icon throttle body here with an HD flange from Motion Raceworks, so that'll be super nice. He's got a nice big 5-inch core intercooler in it already. Now that we have a baseline of what the car is, let's go over the parts we have and what we're gonna do. Guys, here's the cart of goodies. On this car, we're gonna be doing stainless hot side, and then we're also gonna be doing aluminum cold side piping. So on this, we have dual 2 1/4 primaries, and they're gonna be going to each side of this divided turbo. This is a VS Racing 88-103 with a 1.32 AR. And this is a T6 turbo, but it's on an S400 frame. We also have some 44mm wastegates here from VS Racing. These are the new generation piston type design. They're super smooth and very good quality parts for a very good price. And then we also have two 50mm VS Racing blow-off valves that are going to be going on it. And then all of my stainless parts I like to get from Ace Race. Very nice, high quality stainless. So here we have some male-female 2 1/4 V-bands. These are going to be going on the primary piping. And then in between the two headers, we're also going to be putting this exhaust bellows in. And this allows for expansion and contraction between the two piping systems so that they can grow and contract independently of each other and not cause any cracking that may incur due to the nature of the expansion and contraction of metal when you heat and cool it. So here, this thing is pretty slick. Look at this. This is a Shearer Fabrications T6 CNC machine flange. So, I mean, just look at the machining in this thing. It's a quality piece. So, it's nice because it's circular and then it goes to the rectangular side of the turbine housing. So it's a nice smooth transition for the exhaust to flow in. What's sweet about this is right here, this is already milled out for 2 1/4" OD tubing. So these fittings will sit perfectly in that groove, and then you just gotta weld around it. Check this out. We got some 4-inch exhaust mandrel 90s for the outlet of the turbo. And this is the outlet flange of that turbo, all stainless. This is also going to be a street car, so naturally we have to put a muffler on it. So here's the muffler. I don't know how much it's really going to muffle. In all reality, this is going to be raced in a street-driven class, and according to the rules of that class, you have to have a muffler in. So this is the muffler we're running. It's legally a muffler, but it's not really going to muffle anything. But yeah, Vibrant Performance makes this, and it's a pretty quality looking piece. I can't wait to weld it in. These are some mandrel aluminum 90s, and these are going to be going in the cold side of the charge piping. Let's get a better look at this turbo. Look at this thing. Oh man. I mean, this thing is humongous. It's a good thing I got a lot of room to fit it, because this thing is going to be wild. Now that we've looked at all the parts, let's get back over to the engine bay and I'll show you guys what I'm thinking as far as routing and how we're going to build this thing. Here we are in the engine bay, and what I'm thinking for this is the first order of operations is we got to have a starting place and an ending place. So in order to pipe the primaries into each side of the turbo, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount that turbo right here. Okay, I got some stainless steel and some brackets to mount that T6 flange, and it's going to be in this area, and the outlet of that compressor housing is going to look down right here, so it can go right into the intercooler. And then I have to modify some existing truck flanges. I'll show you guys that next. All right, so here's that existing manifold that I have to modify. I've already cut this thing down at the angle that I want. You can see that right there. This used to have a 3-bolt truck flange on this manifold. And so this is cast steel. We're going to be welding it to some stainless steel fittings, so I'll make a dissimilar weld there. I'll show you guys how I do that. And then once I get that fitting welded on, I can get it to a V-band. I got to get underneath this power steering pump right here, come under here and get it to a V-band somewhere in there, so then I can start running it over to the turbo. So here we are on the other side. This is the other manifold on the passenger side of the car. And as you can see, this one is already cut down as well. So I've got some fittings that I'm going to cut down to adapt to that and get to a V-band. And what's going to happen with this guy is this is going to snake underneath this coolant bypass right here, and I'm going to have a V-band somewhere in here to come back into that turbo that's going to be mounted right here. Then, as you guys can see, there's no coolant pipe in this thing. Obviously, from here to here, there's nothing there. So what we're going to be doing here is there used to be some other stuff that a plumber did, and we got rid of that, and we're going to put some nice aluminum pipe in here. And we'll either do stainless or aluminum, I'm not sure yet. I still have to order the pipe and fittings for this. And then over here, from the water pump to that connection on the radiator, we're going to have to do the same thing. But that's one of the last things I'm worried about first. I want to get those primaries piped in and then get that exhaust, the leaving side of the turbo in. So what we're going to be doing for the leaving side of the turbo is that 4-inch is going to come back through here and then come right through the fender right here. And we'll have the 2 lines from the wastegate follow it out the fender. And then, I don't know, we'll probably send some templated design to send cut send and have like a teardrop design coming down through here for the outlet of the turbo as well as the wastegates. Alright guys, so as far as the cage that we're putting in this thing, that's from Wild Rides. It's a pre-bent, pre-fit, pre-notched cage, and that's going to be made out of 120 wall DOM tube, 1 3/4 OD, and it's an 850 cert cage, 8 points. So that's going to be showing up any day here now, and once it gets in here, we'll get rolling on that and make some footage of that as well. All right, that's it for this one. Just a brief overview of the plans we got. Stay tuned. Next, I'm going to show you guys how I modify those headers to get to a V-band, and then we're going to start working on the mounting the turbo and the primary piping for each side of that divided flange. All right, I'll see you later.